Good afternoon, everyone. So nice to see you all here. Thank you for coming. Since Inge Maj is singing, I said, you need to save your voice and let me do the talking. And whenever I have a captive audience, I'm always happy because I am a college professor and I do talk to students a lot. And so I thought it'd be best if I did the talking. Well, the first song you heard, Solveig's Song by Edvard Grieg, comes actually from a suite of songs that he wrote for the play, incidental music it's called, for the Henrik Ibsen play called Peer Gynt. And very famous work, lots of movements that are played by symphony orchestras and sung on concerts throughout the world. And Edvard Grieg was a symphonist. He also wrote a lot of chamber music and lots of songs from Norway originally. Now, we are going to do another Grieg song for you that somehow didn't get into the program, but we have prepared it, and it's called My Johan. And this is also by Edvard Grieg. And it is in English, so you'll be able to understand. The first one, Inge Maj sang in Norwegian. You know, she speaks more than 2 languages, right? Swedish, English, Norwegian. And as singers, we have to study a lot of languages in order to sing in them. Italian, French, German, even Russian, right? So much great music out there to sing. So our second piece by Edvard Grieg is called My Johan. Our next group is by the composer Stephen Foster. Now, Stephen Foster is considered to be the very first composer of American art song. He has that distinction. And I'm sure many of you have sung his songs. Sometimes we learn them in school as children, like Oh Susanna, Hard Times Come Again No More, the Captown Races. These are all ones you know, The Old Folks at Home, My Old Kentucky Home. These were all wonderful compositions that still remain popular today. So he actually made his living off of his music, which is highly unusual for composers. So The Old Kentucky Home is actually the official state song of Kentucky. And if you watch the Kentucky Derby, they always sing it. And also there's a song, the state anthem of Florida is Where the Sawgrass Meets the Sky, and that's also by Stephen Foster. So he was very famous in his own day. He was born in near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in Lawrenceville. There is a statue of him there. There's a state park named after Stephen Foster. There's a memorial landmark building. There's a museum. Lots of things to remember Stephen Foster. Unfortunately, he kind of had a sad life. He died very young. He was only 37. And but wrote lots of music before that for us. We're going to be doing 3 songs: Beautiful Dreamer, Jeannie with the Light Brown Hair, which, by the way, was written for his wife, whose name was Jane, but he always called her Jeannie. And unfortunately, their marriage did not last real long. There were issues. I think I read somewhere he was an alcoholic and not always a pleasant person to be around. So Jeannie left, and so when you hear Jeannie with the light brown hair, he's talking about his dear wife. In verse 1, he says, I dream of Jeannie. In verse 2, he says, I long for Jeannie. And then in the last verse, he says, I sigh for Jeannie. And then we're going to leave you with a little fun one called Some Folks Do. So here's our Stephen Foster group. So now we're going to move over into the opera world. Do we have any opera lovers out here in the audience? Good, good. Well, you know, opera is just another way of telling a story, and there are so many wonderful stories to be told, wonderful operas. But today we're going to do a selection from Gershwin's Porgy and Bess. Here's another American composer. I don't know how we managed to do that, but we're highlighting Americans instead of dead Europeans. So, now we just have dead Americans. But anyway, unfortunately. So anyway, George Gershwin was an American composer and pianist whose compositions spanned both popular and classical genres. Among his best-known works are Rhapsody in Blue, I know we all know that, American in Paris, the song Swanee, Fascinating Rhythm, and the jazz standard I Got Rhythm, his opera Porgy and Bess, which also spawned the hit Summertime, which is what Inge Maj is going to sing today. So Gershwin is very well versed in contemporary popular music styles, especially jazz. And he wrote a lot of popular songs that we all still know and love. He did move to Hollywood. He composed film scores in his life. And he died in 1937, also very young, of a malignant brain tumor. His compositions are still played worldwide, many of them becoming jazz standards and used as covers for many artists today. So Porgy and Bess is a truly American opera. The libretto, or the story for the opera, was written by DuBose Hayward, and the lyricist was his brother, Ira Gershwin. And it's set in Charleston, South Carolina. If you don't know the story, it is about a disabled black street beggar who lived in the slums of Charleston, and it deals with his attempts to rescue Bess from the clutches of Crown, who is her boyfriend and also her drug dealer. So it's you know, it has a little bit of a dark side, but the opera plot, it was originally a stage play. So there are happy times and bad times in this opera, just like we have in real life. And it also was made into a movie. Now recently, the Metropolitan Opera did a live stream broadcast of Porgy and Bess. And did you go to see that, Inge Maj? Yeah. And so those are wonderful opportunities to see opera live as it's happening in New York City on the stage of the Met at 1 and 2 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. And you feel like you're there. They really do a beautiful job with the filming, and they have intermission features. They take you backstage. You meet the conductor, the singers. You get to do things that you don't really get to do when you pay your $200 to sit in the theater. And you can see all of that for $25, right? So we are going to enjoy Summertime from Porgy and Bess by George Gershwin. Well, we have one more song to share with you today. This is a favorite of mine as well, because it's one of the first songs I learned. I don't think I ever told you that. Ernest Charles, another great American songwriter. He was born in Minnesota. His real name was Grosskopf. Now I know why he changed it. Okay, you know what Grosskopf means? It means big head. But he went by his middle name. Ernest Charles was his last name. Anyway, he had a very nice career. He was a member of the American Guild of Musical Artists, wrote lots of songs, taught, and lived a life full of music. He also wrote some film scores, and he wrote over 45 songs for voice and piano between the years of 1930 and 1950. His music can still be heard, and it's been recorded by many famous artists. And sometimes you'll even hear this song sitting in a nice restaurant. When I Have Sung My Songs to You by Ernest Charles.